when we get the pushback in the communication space where we're having to not only communicate our boundary and wish that it went smoothly the first time, but then have to communicate it again,
Yeah.
or when we're in the maintenance phase, that can 20 years ago, back when all that went down with my ex-husband, for a story that's longer than I'm going to share here, I ended up moving to where I live now. And I live one town over from my parents. I guess the part of me wants to tell you that it's not because I was trying to live that close to my parents. But when I moved here, I had to set a boundary. I mean, here I am, like the provider, the protector, the nurturer, like all the things. And I have a toddler and an infant. And so I took the certainty of my home very, very seriously for I
Mm.
think obvious reasons. And so my boundary about my mom not stopping by unexpectedly was really firm because for me, it's not just about the time I spend with her. I already mentioned, like, there's the after effects of spending time with her. And I just didn't have time in my life to have unplanned visits. Like it just was too disruptive to my mental health. And I didn't even have the language for that then. I just knew that it
Wow.
was just disruptive. And so I said to my mom, I need you to not stop by without, us discussing it ahead of time. My boundary is 0 unplanned visits. And so I want to share that over the years and years, her response to that was not pro boundary. Here were some of the things that I got back from my mom from that one.
Mm.
What kind of a mother has to make an appointment to see her daughter? What kind of a daughter makes her mother make an appointment to see her? You're
Mm.
being ridiculous. You're taking your hurt about your ex out on me. When did you become so afraid of everything? Hmm, let me see. I'm only coming over for a second. What? You're so busy that you can't make a second for your mother?
Mm.
What? I'm only allowed to come over when it's convenient for you. And then there's this one. This is the last one I'll share, but this is the last one I'll share, but it's not the last one,
Oh, I bet.
which is I'm going to leave a bag on your porch since I can't come over without an appointment, but I was driving to your house, so I'm not going to not drop it off. And so what I'm sharing with you folks is that maintenance is part of setting a boundary and holding that boundary year after year after year.
Yes.
Eventually, she did finally just accept that that was the boundary. Now, I still will get quips sometimes about the appointment or what kind of a mother, what kind of daughter, but the boundary itself, it's taken a long time, but it is maintained. When we get the pushback in the communication space where we're having to not only communicate our boundary and wish that it went smoothly the first time, but then have to communicate it again,
Yeah.
or when we're in the maintenance phase, that can ping some of our internal community. And again, if the word circuits and systems and neural pathways work better for your system, then it can activate some of our neural pathways with energy and interaction like that. But I like to personify that with my internal community. And so in an interaction like that, my internal community, like I have a member of my internal community still that doesn't want to disappoint my mother, right? I
Mm.
have a member of my internal community that, at that time had the fear fight response of I'm the protector of my small children, right?
Mm.
So right, I had a member of my internal community that was, I would say I didn't know how to touch into grief at the time, but like really sad, hurt, disappointed, like thought if I could just explain well enough, like, but just almost incredulous that my mom did not know how, like, can you imagine how different it'd be like, oh, honey, like you're going through
Mm.
so much right now. Like you are a single mom and like provider, nurturer, like everything is on your shoulders right now. If that is what you need to run your household smoothly, like, of course, I'm not going to stop by unexpectedly. What can I do to make your life more smooth? How can I support you on your journey right now that is so
Mm.
hard, right? How
Yeah.
different would that be? And that
Oh my
one inside me
gosh.
was just craving that and sad that she
Yeah.
didn't have it. And so I had all these different members of my internal community. Oh, I have the it's not fair one too. How did I forget her? It's not there. Right. All of it. Right? But all these members of my internal community, like the remothering moment is each one of them gets a voice and gets to be seen and witnessed. And like, I see you. I see you. Like, that is
Mm.
so legitimate what you're thinking, feeling, wanting. Like, I see you.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
How powerful is that? Seeing
Right.
each of those different parts.
And so that's where it comes back around, which is we get to be there for ourselves as we navigate creating, setting healthy and aligned boundaries, because
Mm.
those members of our internal community, because we're human and because our human brains are not all parts and layers are functioning in linear time, like that's going to pop up. And so when we get to be there for ourselves, it eases some of the journey.
Mm. I'm smiling.